Hello, welcome. Make yourself at home. Thank you for accepting my invitation to Big Girl Brunch with Bern, where we talk about big girl things over big girl brunch. Hello, everyone. If I'm successful and if I don't break down before this goes out to the world, we will be having a video format of this podcast on my YouTube channel. So I hope I am successful because I think I'm too far from the mic. I hope I'm successful because I do want a video version of this. And I want you guys to see that I have new hair. Before we dive into this topic, how are you guys? You can't answer. I was just pausing for effect. Well, I am okay, I guess. I'm wondering if I'm in focus. If I am not in focus, I am gonna cry. And I'll still upload the video. Okay, so anyway, since the last time I talked to you guys, I have attended two other quote-unquote influencer events, which are both colorette. One was their Halloween party, which was like an actual party. And I don't like parties that are actual parties. I like birthday parties that are like chill or family parties. But I don't like capital P parties. Although I met Ali the Blessed Bee from TikTok who reads tarot, which is really cool. She read my birth chart, which I was terrified of because what if I have a bad birth chart? I don't have control over it. But it was cool. I think the reading was really cool. And then for the second event, it was a launch with Colorette as well. It was their liquid highlighters. And I also met another cool person. Her name's Mia. I was already second guessing if I should go because I was hesitant because the first event with Colorette, I was like terrified because I couldn't hang out with anybody, and I am not the kind of person to just socialize with random people unless they talk to me first. But yeah, I just think I can't do it, night events, especially because it tires me out and I'm scared of people. But that's what's been happening in my life. For work, I've also been busy with social media stuff. Like we've been making TikToks and pub mats, and I am not a pub mat person. I'm not a visual artist, not a graphic designer or anything. But I've been making the pub mats for that with Canva, obviously, because I can't make my own elements. But yeah, it's been busy that way. What else has been going on in my life? I colored my hair, if you haven't noticed. Like the front part is bleached and the back part is red. And I bleached this myself. I was really terrified when I did it, but thankfully my hair's not falling off of my head. So I'm taking that as a good sign. I don't know. When was the last time I talked to you? Was that before I got sick? I also got chickenpox for a while, which was crazy. I got vaccinated after I was exposed to chickenpox. So I think that helped with the bumps not showing. It was really itchy for days, but the bumps didn't show up, so I don't have marks. Do I have any other life updates? I don't think so. Okay, so let's jump into the topic. I actually have, while I'm still talking, I have two different titles or topic titles for this. The first one is Budol as a euphemism for overconsumption or the lack of trust in influencers. So I don't know which to pick yet. It's essentially connected. Like there's a lack of trust in influencers because of Budol culture, and Budol culture is really just encouraging overconsumption. Before we get into Budol culture and into the local scene, I wanted to take a trip down memory lane to kind of establish where I'm coming from, especially with ads and sponsorships and just promos with brands, with influencers or social media personalities. So I remember this is not like well researched again. So this is really just from my own experience and my memory of what has happened throughout the past years as a social media girly. And when I say social media girly, I just mean I spend a lot of time on social media. I am not a social media manager or anything. I'm not an analyst or a researcher of social media. So I remember being exposed to like brand deals and stuff in relation to influencers or social media stars or content creators on YouTube. I'm gonna call them internet celebrities. For most of my life, before other social media platforms became like platforms where people tried to be famous, I think YouTube was the number one platform. Tumblr also, but that's like a different world. There's something noisy outside, so I'm waiting for that to stop. I don't think it's gonna stop, so I'm just gonna keep talking and hope that you can't hear it that much. But I remember being exposed to this through YouTube sponsorships. And I am calling them internet celebrities because at the time, like I think I was exposed to this 2014, which is kind of late. I was 15 at the time. That was when I started religiously watching YouTube videos because I don't know, I was just I played outside and stuff still, and we had slow internet, so I wasn't exposed to it at a super young age like now. But at the time, YouTube sponsorships was the number one thing with brand deals, and YouTube was the platform for it. And what it would look like is that a YouTuber will make an entire video of that sponsorship. For example, if Mac was sponsoring a beauty influencer or a beauty YouTuber at the time, it would be the entire video that's sponsored, and they will be using the Mac product in the video. Yeah, so that's what I remember at first until it evolved to the commercials now, which most YouTubers do every video, where they'd say thank you to Notion for sponsoring this video, and then they do the video, and then there's a break, and then they do the commercial, which is Notion is a platform, blah blah blah, and then they proceed to the video, or sometimes it's at the ad is at the end of the video. But that's how sponsorship works now, instead of like the entire video dedicated to that sponsorship. And during the time, I remember 2014, 2015, I was watching Amanda Steele and Maddie Bragg, Claudia Soluski, the classics. I was watching them, and then if they had two consecutive videos that were sponsored, people would get mad at them and say that they're in it for the money, which is now like it's people's job, so they will be in it for the money. Not all of the time, but like a percentage of them is in it for the money, right? Because it's their job, and that's what jobs do, give you money. So there's like there was already this lack of trust from their audience when they do that. They're kind of annoyed because it doesn't feel genuine or sincere. But now, since it's not the entire video, it's just like a commercial, people really don't mind it. And it's not like a full-on ad. Sometimes it's NordVPN or Notion or Skillshare or Squarespace. Those are the common things that I see. So people really don't mind it that much when it's like that. It was just like, it's always been ingrained in people who are viewers to be like, to hate on someone who was doing sponsored videos. And I understand because, again, difference between entire video being sponsored and like the sponsored content being like a commercial instead. So that's how it all started. I remember YouTube sponsorships were like the base of my knowledge about this. Other than that, there's also like this idea of a haul. So hauls have been around for a really long time. I watched a YouTube video about this, and it's mostly done by teenage girls, or like just girls in general, who are showing their new clothes that they bought or their new makeup and stuff. It has evolved a lot since the first time. Like the first time, they just show what they got when they were shopping, until people were intentionally getting like $500 worth of clothes from a specific brand, which can be one, a sponsorship or a brand deal, or two, it's just like a popular brand that people are looking for, so they did a haul about it. And from this alone, we already see a hint of the promotion of overconsumption from influencers as the haul evolved into what it is now. Like, they're just spending a lot of money to buy clothes that they're probably not gonna wear more than once. Just influencers have been doing hauls like crazy, and they don't have to do that. Another thing was the affiliate links on YouTube that I remember. And this is kind of related to the YouTube sponsorships, because there are affiliate links now for the sponsorships. Like, you can use blank blank to get 20% off, and then they get a commission and stuff. But I just remember the Morphe ones. It was like crazy. every beauty YouTuber was using their Morphe code, and then there was an issue with Morphe, and it's just like it's all been an amalgamation of sponsorships and brand deals, and just like pushing products onto people, onto viewers, because they'll get a commission from it. But that's just like a general overview of what I've seen throughout the years as an avid watcher of YouTube, and as a wannabe YouTuber myself. But that's not really in depth or anything, or again academic. If you can hear the pumping throughout the video, or the podcast, I can't. I don't know if I can re-record this after. I'm just gonna lose my mind and probably lose all my hair if I do that. Anyway, so let's proceed, I guess. But locally, this is where it all gets exciting for me. Or for everyone. Because it's juicier, because like the world is smaller. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the local influencer industry. And I'm calling them influencers now because we have moved on from the YouTube era where people were really like internet celebrities. There are still YouTubers who are internet celebrities, like Emma Chamberlain, Cody Ko, Curtis Conner. These are just the people I watch. Who else? Amanda Steele was a big internet star back in the day, but I don't think that's her focus anymore. She's like a fashion person now. Miranda Sings. These are like the Green brothers. Is that what they call themselves? Like Hank Green and John Green. Anyway, these are like really, really famous YouTubers. And now I'm just shifting to the term influencers because there are more people who are like internet people or like social media content creators. So it's not like they're internet stars or internet celebrities. And that's just true. Like, that's me as well. I'm not anyone on the internet. I'm just like a rock. No, not a rock, but like I'm just like a person, and not like the kind of person that's relatable, who's actually a star like Emma Chamberlain. I genuinely just have like less than 1,000 followers on YouTube. That's what I meant. Okay, anyway, so we'll proceed to the local scene of influencers. For us, I think affiliate, at least from my perspective or from my observation or my personal experience, because I don't want to get red for any of this, I think affiliate codes and product pushing really boomed because of two things. Before I say these two things, I just want to recount like the sponsorships I've seen before this boom. I remember I watched YouTube, and then there's like Notion again, Squarespace, sometimes Grammarly, Skillshare. These are all from YouTubers because YouTubers have like a more quote unquote valuable following or subscriber count compared to other social media platforms, I'd say. So those are the kinds of things that people promote. Oh, also Dove was a really big hit. I don't know why. But, just like especially for girls. I guess that's why I see it all the time, because I'm a girl and the people I watch on YouTube are mostly girls my age. Okay, so anyway, the two things that really made affiliate codes, product pushing, and the promotion of overconsumption boom locally are, number one, 1111 / online shopping / Shopee or whatever if you use Lazada. and the influencer marketing that comes with it, obviously. And second, TikTok. So let's dissect that, I guess. I don't think I'm doing a very good job at dissecting today, but I'm not a surgeon, so it's okay. This isn't my job. I'm not a woman in STEM. I'm a Hume's woman. Okay, so first let's talk about 11/11. If you didn't know, 11/11 is basically November 11, and 11/11 is considered lucky. I don't know where this comes from, but I think it's from, like, it's because it's an angel number, like 111. But anyway, during 11/11, I didn't research when the first 11/11 was, but when this came along, there was like, it's basically a big sale online on Shopee. I don't know if Lazada has been doing this earlier, or like, I don't know who came first, but just 11/11 is a big sale. It kind of reminds me of the Black Friday sale in the US, and I don't mean this in like I have I have colonial mentality or anything. I just really watched American vloggers growing up. So that's they have this like usually Black Friday haul, and 11/11 is kind of like that as well. 11/11 has gone from 11/11 to like every double digit sale. I don't know what they call it. Like there's 1-1, there's 2-2, there's 3-3, there's 4-4, there's 5-5, 8-8. Like you get what I mean. Like January, is there 1-1? I don't know. But like there's August 8. There's also like sales and stuff during that. But 11/11 is the biggest one, and I think the first one that pierced into my consciousness, because I think that's the first one. So basically, what happens in 11/11, and like how is influencer marketing tied to this? So influencers are being paid, at least by Shopee and Lazada, to post like quote unquote Budol content. And obviously it's their job, right? They're paid to promote things, and I understand that. I really do. I'm not like judging content creators for making money because they need to. But I think there's a fine line between posting things that you really like and then showing that to people, and just like posting anything that you've bought that is cheap and saying it's the best product you've ever tried, and then making people buy that, knowing that they'll regret that. Influencers are paid to do quote unquote Budol content to encourage people to buy during the sale. It's okay, right, if it's just like 11/11? But influencers post like every double digit sale, which is every month, which encourages people to just like spend most of their money on online shopping during the sales. These sales are good for consumers who really want something and have been wanting it for a long time, and they're like waiting for the sale so that they can get it for a little cheaper. I'm not saying this is all bad. Like I've participated in double number sales or whatever you call it. But I think it's unethical to post every single thing that you bought on Shopee and just like saying it's good, especially for the price, and then while fully knowing that it's not good. Stop lying. Just like stop lying. That's it. So basically what people do for this is they post stories of what they recommend people to buy during the sale, or making outfit of the days where they link the shop of where they got it, where they got their items of clothing. So that's really a big part of this culture of Budol. So the second one I mentioned was TikTok. With TikTok, I think it's the same but also different. So how it's the same because they're also product pushing, and sometimes Shopee collides with TikTok and Lazada collides with TikTok, but there are other ways. So on TikTok, it's easier to gain a following. Like your video can be pushed to people who don't follow you. It's easier to promote your video without working as much. Because for example, if I upload on YouTube, there's no For You page, so people have to search for your video. And there are a lot of options on YouTube. So where is your video in that like search page, whatever? It's probably not on the first page. I'm gonna tell you that. Unless your video is super specific. So you have to work harder to promote it on your other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which probably not a lot of people want to do. Like, I personally don't want to promote my YouTube videos on Facebook because my workmates follow me there and I don't want them to see that. So, there's like on TikTok, it's convenient enough that you don't have to be promoting it to other people because TikTok will do that for you if you're friends with the algorithm, that is. So it's easier to gain a following, but you're also more forgettable on TikTok because people might follow you, but you don't have a bond with them. Like, they'll only see you on their For You page. They probably don't even know your name. People probably don't even know my name. They just know my face, and then they'll be like, oh, I see you on my For You page, if they do. Anyway, so it's easier to gain a following, and I think people think now that followers convert to sales. Which makes sense, right? That's like basic. I'm not even a business person, and I understand that. On TikTok, it's easy to like get 10,000 followers without trying as hard as on YouTube. I feel like that's shady, but it's true. And I can say that because I've done that. So since it's easier to gain a following on TikTok, there are also more people who have more followers. So essentially, your following count matters less. So it has to be bigger. For example, 10,000 on TikTok isn't as valuable as 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. If your following count is valued less, it means that you won't get as many big brand deals or sponsorships as like the YouTubers or like the internet stars like Emma Chamberlain, Amanda Steele during their peak. Emma Chamberlain is still peaking, but that's another topic. So what people do is like they have affiliate links on TikTok, especially on, I'll search it up right now because I don't think I did a very good job at searching this. Call Echo Mobi, I think. So I've seen TikTokers have this link, which is Call Echo Mobi, on their profiles. And basically, that's where they list all of their online shopping recommendations and all of the items that they bought online. Basically, they get a commission when people buy from this link because people aren't paid as much by sponsorships, and there's like the issue with X deals as well. Content creators resort to using Call Echo Mobi instead of waiting for sponsorships because sponsorships are harder to come by. Aside from Call Echo Mobi, there's also TikTok Shop, where you link a product that's on TikTok Shop. For example, I will link a blush palette, and then I link it in the video, and then they can click on it and buy it from that link. And then basically, the TikToker also gets a commission from that. So more people have been promoting TikTok Shop products, and these are from people who are content creators. It's really just become more common recently, and people are annoyed about it. I've seen a lot of TikToks complaining about how they can't even trust influencers anymore, or they don't like influencers who link all of the products that they use because they feel like they're just cash grabbing. This became more prominent, this issue of like the lack of trust, and just like the Budol of it all. The issue of the Antihaul. Have you seen the issue of the Antihaul? Basically, the Antihaul has been around for a long time. It's not a new idea, but the Antihaul is basically where you say all of the things that you would not recommend people to buy, right? Because it's the Antihaul, don't buy this. That's basically what it is. And this started, at least locally, it became a trend again recently after 11/11. So influencers have been doing it, and it came from a Reddit thread, I believe, of regular consumers asking people what they would not recommend other people to buy for 11/11. And then it became a trend on TikTok, and then influencers are doing it. So people are annoyed that basically it's like influencers are co-opting this anti-haul trend, which was from regular consumers. At least recently, it's from regular consumers, and then they're co-opting it so that they can gain more, not even monetary gain, right? But like they can gain a following from it. So their video is gonna do well because of the anti-haul. So one, people are annoyed because Well, I am annoyed. The issue of the anti-haul recently started from the lack of trust with influencers. And then the influencers are gonna join this trend. So I think there's like a dissonance in this. Well, it sounds like a solution, right? Okay, so you don't trust us. These are the things that we don't recommend you to buy. But the conflict here, or like the dissonance here, comes with people saying that some influencers, some beauty influencers especially, are putting products that they put in their 1111 recommendations in their anti-haul. So for example, let's say they put this sunscreen in their 1111 recommendations, and then the same sunscreen appears in their anti-haul. So it seems like they're really just one, following trends, and two, promoting products that they were paid to promote. I understand, right, that everyone has to earn a living. We all hate capitalism. Well, not everyone hates capitalism, but it makes life hard for a lot of people. But in this sense, you also shouldn't be forcing other people, or like you shouldn't be encouraging other people to spend their hard-earned money on a product that doesn't even work that well. You should know that because you're also a consumer. But since you're earning from this, there's like a conflict of interest, obviously. I just think that this dishonesty is unethical. And before I recorded this, I read this article called A History of the Influencer from Shakespeare to Instagram from the New Yorker by Lawrence Scott. And they say this quote: "On one level, influencer is an anodyne," I don't know how to say that word, commercial label describing someone who monetizes an online following by endorsing products or services, a celebrity spokesperson for the social media age. And they mention Shakespeare in this article because in Shakespeare's plays, the word influence is used with a negative connotation. So, oh, I was influenced to do this. That means that you were influenced to do a bad thing. Like how how Eve was influenced by the serpent to eat the apple. You get what I mean? So, in this article, we already know that influence in Shakespeare's plays have a negative connotation. So the influencer now I think at least locally, has a negative connotation for a regular consumer who just wants to spend their money wisely, right? And influence has a negative connotation. You know what also had a negative connotation before it became like cool to use for influencers? Budol. Budol had a negative connotation. Budol's like an oplan? No, not an oplan. I remember, I think I was in grade school when this happened, but Budol is basically an operation, not an operation, like a scam. Yun yung tawag, teka lang, isa-search ko nga. Ayun, budol-budol gang. Reading from Sunstar. It says, budol-budol is a coined Hiligaynon word that refers to the swindling hurly-burly of a gang that convinces the target that inside the bulging bag there are bundles of peso bills, parenthesis banknotes. A swindler is a person who gets the money or anything from someone by fraud or trickery. So basically, they're frauds. The budol-budol gang, I think there's also like someone who was hypnotized or something, but it's basically a scam where people get your money. So that's what Budol was. And that's really also what Budol culture now is. They're just getting your money. I think it was quote unquote reclaimed to be like a funny word just for online shopping recommendations. But honestly, it's really still like people stealing your money. I'm not saying the influencers are stealing your money. Obviously, they're just trying to make a living. I'm saying that manufacturers or like big corporations are doing this. Yeah. So that's what Budol is. Influence, negative connotation. Budol, negative connotation. It all makes sense. To me, in my brain, it all makes sense. But I don't know if it's all coming through. With all of this said, with the links with 1111, with TikTok and TikTok Shop and Shopee, and the issue of the anti-haul and sponsorships, what are my final thoughts? Well, one, I see that a lot of consumers and viewers really don't trust influencers anymore because they sell anything that comes their way. So, as I've said, two, a lot of influencers or content creators now are brand focused slash deal focused slash consumption focused because that's how they earn. Sponsorships are harder to get and are more valuable. When I say sponsorships, I pertain to the ones that are like a post on Instagram from Samsung or like um Squarespace, a Squarespace ad on YouTube versus affiliate links now that are common and commission based selling, right? Or promoting. Next is influencers have less influence, ironically, because of the oversaturation in the industry. There's many content creators, there's many influencers now, so it's harder to one become popular and two make your way into other people's feeds. But also, they only have influence in terms of what to buy during 11/11, but there's no real life impact slash emotional impact on others. I've noticed during the events that I went to, content creators are very supportive of other content creators, but it doesn't mean that viewers view them the same way, especially if you're a product pushing type of influencer where you're just showing a new product that people can buy every video. I don't think that's the same as creating an emotional connection. And again, this is not the case all the time. Not all influencers are like this, and not all influencers are just product pushing. I'm just saying it's a more common phenomenon now. To end it all, I'm just a disclaimer that I'm not dissing on anyone who has a hustle, right? I hate the word hustle, but quote unquote hustle, because people have to earn to live. I just think that people should be honest. I just think that there is more to content creation than just promoting products. You can also make emotional connections with people. You can build friendships with people. You can be more creative with the things that you do. You can build a community if only we take the time to build trust and connection with the people who take the time to watch us and view what we make. I say we as if I earn from my content. I don't. I've earned less than 10,000 pesos from content creation, like my entire life. I think that's it. I hope that makes sense. My final thought is, I don't know. As content creators, let's just be more mindful of the products that we promote. And for us regular consumers, let's be more mindful of the things we buy online. Let's not be easily scammed. We should do our own research when we're buying products, which is what they did in the Reddit thread. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. That's just what I think. That wraps up today's episode. Thank you for stopping by for a chat at Big Girl Brunch with Bern. If you'd like, you can follow or subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to be notified when a new episode comes out. There's a video now, so please check that out on YouTube if you want to. You can also follow the podcast on Instagram at Big Girl Brunch for more podcast updates. If you have any suggestions or requests for the podcast, please DM us on Instagram. Again, I'm saying us as if there's more people in this other than me. It's just me. If you have suggestions or requests, please DM me on Instagram, again at Big Girl Brunch. Or you can DM me on my personal Instagram account, which is at Budol. Thank you, and I'll catch up with you at the next Big Girl Brunch. Bye! Okay, so we're gonna talk about the local influencer industry. And I'm calling them influencers. Thanks for watching.